Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Dr. Sam McNeill. He's with the University of Kentucky, Biosystems and Ag Engineering there. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Joanna. How are you?
Well, I'm great, and I'm glad you're here today because we're going to talk about something that I know you've worked on for many years,
yes.
And that's energy. And 10 years ago, we heard a lot about it. It was like a huge push, right? And so we haven't heard as much about energy grants, but they're still out there.
They are, and actually there's being more money thrown into those programs than there has been recently. So they're still viable, and I'm still doing the work. My colleagues are still doing the work for ag enterprises particularly, but we also do small businesses, and depending on what their interests are. But any enterprise, less than 50 employees and less than a community of 50,000, and then they have to have a certain percentage of their income from an agricultural enterprise or the business itself, would be eligible for a Rural Energy for America program or a REAP grant. Historically, they would pay up to 25% of the cost of the project. Well, now they'll pay 50% of the cost of the project. That's a recent development. So there's been more interest in those kinds of things. And we've seen an uptick a little bit in our work because of that. In the last 5 years, we've done about 130 audits, and that would mostly be described as for dairy operations, a little less than half, poultry operations a little more than half, on the livestock side, and I've been doing some grain dryer audits. I don't do as many of those in the mix, but then we've seen a lot of interest in solar panels as well, and there's been a dozen or more of those in the last few years that have been applied for those grants. So there's the national grant, like I say, at 50% of the project cost would be on the table. But also you can apply for the Kentucky Ag Development Fund grants, which are administered through Frankfurt, and that's the pool of money comes from the Tobacco Settlement Fund. September 30th is the REAP deadline. I mean, you can submit them, it's best to submit them before then. You can submit them after that as well. With the REAP projects, you need to submit an application. It has to be accepted to the Rural Development Office in Lexington, rather, before you spend any money on a project, put anything down for equipment or anything. And that's a little bit of, you got to plan ahead for that. A lot of times vendors are really pushing you to, get that money to them or make a commitment on the purchase before you're really ready to do that. And so we encourage folks to do the audit before they would, just they're equipped with better information, whether it's going to be a good investment for them. But then for the Ag Development Funds, they actually look back 6 months. So if you've done a project that's qualifies and it's less than 25-year payback for the energy savings, then and to buy the equipment, then you can apply, and that deadline is also is in December.
Okay.
So we've got some time to think about those things. And Doug Overholtz is a colleague of mine in Princeton also. He does a lot of the livestock, the dairy, the poultry audits, and we've done, like I say, a bulk of those have been, he's done most of those through our shop. There are other enterprises and agencies that do audits as well. But we're still doing this work, and it's amounted to several $1 million back to the farms over the course of the years that we've done it since 2008. We've done like 560 audits with our team. I think it would be, you go much quicker, and some of the common elements that you would need to apply for an energy audit would be to get a historical record, 1 year at least. 2 years is better, of your electrical bills, if you're heating, obviously, or drying grain, with LP gas or natural gas bills, you'd want to get a 2-year record of your historical energy use, and match that up with your harvest records. For grain dryers, I would need information on how much moisture was taken out by the dryer, how hard it had to work, essentially, and then how much energy savings could a new dryer provide with the trade out.
If you're interested in the program, make sure to reach out to your local extension office, or you can find Sam's information, and he'd be happy for you to contact him. We appreciate you watching the Farm and Home Show and hope you have a great day.